Welcome to part 2 of the Power Horse 3500 or Predator 3500 generator revival. I'm assuming you came from part 1, and if not, welcome. And without much ado, let's get this show on the road. So I'm going to go ahead and get this carburetor off and pull this out of the way. Get my finger out of the way. God, I do that in every video. You got to tight.
And one electrical plug.
And
electrical
yeah,
choke, right?
already showed the electrical choke getting unplugged. And then Laird came by and cleaned all that mess that was just caked in sand.
I need some of that up.
And he's going to spray some carb cleaner through this.
I'll run that right now. That was a mess. We could have this ready.
Let me get far enough away that I don't get carb cleaner on the lens of the camera.
I'll do that. Chemicals on the camera, not good. Get this guy shear. Go for the plastic there. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
That was a nice clean opening.
it's open.
You left those all together, right? That black
So
holding everything?
that goes there to the Y. That's on the side, and that's by itself. You don't really need to take this off, so I just leave it on there. Then you got Phillips screws, 3 of them. 2 of them? There's 2 of them. Thought there was 3. So, and you want to be real careful when you pull this guy off. Ay, there's so much sand.
Mm-hmm. Get more clean right there. I'm going to straw this at the ground. I got to pick it back up.
So much sand in this thing. We're just gonna go right on the table, I guess. There, now I can see the screw.
I know we don't endorse, the page endorse anything, but that's why I used to clean this up.
Oh,
Walmart cheap. Is that brand?
that's what Laird used to clean this up.
Cherry
Bomb degreaser.
Cheap.
He recently found that and he's in love with it.
It works good.
So you want to put your thumb on top and hold this down. You'll see why in a minute. Keep note how this thing came off, because you got to put it back on.
I also make that pump dispenser hand cleaner I use. Cherry Bomb.
And you lift it off very carefully. Notice I'm holding over something because things can fall out.
That
Now,
will fall out.
if you look at this, there's a little spring here and a piece inside. This whole thing can just fly apart, so be careful. If you're going to take this off to clean it, like I'm going to have to, you got to hang on to that spring, keep it down in a bucket or something, and make note of how it went together.
I'll set that one there for that. I got several. That's good for that, for that. Big brush.
Hopefully we don't have to take this off.
Piso 35 big wire.
No, we don't need to take that
I'm
off.
just saying we got that, we got that.
We'll just spray it.
We got this.
Put your finger over it.
2 nozzles.
Should I take it apart? I don't really want to.
On what?
If you look, there's this piece that moves,
Your choke?
and it's just kind of in the spring there.
Get that crap.
I'm getting there.
You
I'm
peel
showing this. So if this comes out, you got to put it back together.
which is what we ended up doing on yours.
I thought you said these things
What did I
held.
say earlier?
You said, oh yeah, the gum out holds.
It used to.
So much dirt on it. Dirt on this thing. Ow, that was hot.
That's why we got the brush.
Shouldn't need a brush. It's just sand.
I need it down on the other stuff. Gotta bring it loose.
Pretty clean. So, next thing you got to do is this screw here. make note of how far it is here. That's idle, I think, if I remember right.
We'll run it all the way and then count the turns in. Count the half turns in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 turns
Out.
out. Now I need a flathead screwdriver. Something that's not gigantic, that'll work. So this is your idle jet, or not idle jet, there's an idle passageway there. You want to pop that out. And it's going to be nasty. Make sure that it's got the side holes and the end hole. All that needs to be open and clear. Doesn't need to be.
You're gonna ream it.
You're going to ream it anyway?
We're gonna MIG wire it.
So he's going to use some MIG wire and ream it.
Make sure we're.
And then you look, there's a hole in the bottom here. And that comes out in the carb somewhere. This is the most clogged thing. So see how it comes out? If that's clogged, you may have to run a wire through there to
You said don't ream it, right?
No, you reamed it. You're
No,
good.
Just the first titch. I'm not done
Oh,
yet.
look at that.
Just the first titch. Tons of
You got-
sand.
You got a ton of sand out of there
This
after
thing,
reaming
is,
it.
this thing is not done yet. It's not open.
So it tricked
This-
us.
Yeah, it's just 030. That's where you come into problems.
Because it actually acted like it was open. Alright, then we get 10 millimeter, pull the bottom off. Don't have a 10 millimeter. Give her pliers. Huh? This is a 10 millimeter, but I don't feel like going out to the truck to get it, so. Grimy. I can hear the sand.
So this thing needs to be done extra because there's so much small grit shit that can be anywhere.
Get the bowl off. I mean, this is standard cleaning here. And I heard from Lowbuck Garage, he said, in a carburetor, things that move, make them move. Things that aren't supposed to move, make them not move. Now this is the floats. We're going to go ahead and pull them because there's so much crap hiding in this carburetor. There's the float and the pin. Clean it out. There's the main jet down in here. You may have to pull it.
Go from big cable to the guitar wire.
I guess I should go ahead and pull the main jet.
Let's bring a guitar wire. This thing's crammed, dude.
That screwdriver's too small. See if that'll work. And too big. That's just right. Actually, that's too big. There it goes. Come out.
Plug still, jet's still closed. Give me a small wire. Same jet, still pulling sand out of it.
Why isn't this coming out? good. Here's your jet. Also clogged.
Probably
This thing
needs to
never
be
would have
sand
run.
reamed. Yep. And the sand ream it.
Well, let me spray it first. You got the guitar wire?
You can go through this one too. Look, where's the guitar wire? Right somewhere.
Actually,
Big wire.
that might be too small for guitar wire.
This one is too, actually. The big wire. There it is. Here's the guitar wire.
That one's small enough. This is
Chip
a
cleaners.
chip cleaner, yeah. Just run it through there, make sure we get all the particles out. You need a tip cleaner?
Yes. Is this little Mr. Speed jet? What's this? It's got a jet number 43 on it.
Sidle jet. Get that out real good. That one back.
You sure?
What?
It's clear.
Yes.
You're sure on this one?
I ran a wire through it.
I think the sand is tricking you.
Get all the sand out.
This sand's a lot. It's getting a lot of the worst places.
There's the O-ring. Get all the dirt off the O-ring.
Don't store your generator out in sand.
No kidding. What?
You can see now I got the wire through finally, and you can see it through that side orifice. I'm gonna hand you the whole thing with the wire in it. Because every time, you see there was sand built up around the edge, and every time
Sand
you
built
get
up
it
around
cleared,
the
that's why it
edge.
wasn't cleared. It just took one grain of
Putting the
sand
wire
to clog
through
that
there.
thing again.
Oh, it's clogged.
It'll go back through. It just takes one grain of sand. That's what I'm doing, getting all this shit out here. Where'd it go? I got
Damn.
a collection of, a nice collection of all the sand that was still in there. It just takes one grain.
Oh, it doesn't go to the top.
No, it
Okay.
didn't go to the top, but look.
Got it.
Now it does go through. It was not
Yeah.
going through.
So it was restricted.
Not doubting you, just doubting you.
So it had a piece of sand in there and it was restricted even though it was flowing.
One grain, that's all it took. One grain. Put just a little more cleaner to it. What I did, and I just started reaming it. And blew it. And reamed it again. I'll tell you, be sure on your other jet because it didn't take much.
I did.
Where the thing your customer's at is just not a healthy environment for
That goes back in
a small
there.
engine.
That goes back in there. You want this facing out so you can drain the bowl without taking the carb off or taking the engine apart.
Can't be where your bowl gasket.
Right, which I'm about to do. So make sure your bowl gasket's in place like that one moved.
That's usually a push-in rubber seal. It can tear coming out if you're not careful. And
Or stretch.
yeah, some chemicals will make it not happen.
I don't remember which way it goes. Oh, it's this way. Roughly that way. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can adjust it once you get on the machine. Oh, I'm shaking.
Look one more time.
What?
The bowl doesn't hold your keepers in on your float, does it?
No, it doesn't.
What holds that pin in? There's not a mark on the inside of the
Nothing.
bowl that does it?
Nothing. It's stupid. Yeah, how most bowls have a little place to hold the keeper? No, doesn't have it. I'm guessing the curvature of the bowl itself.
It might just do it all the way around. It can't come out. Do the tightness around this.
So I'll come back with a 10 millimeter and do that right.
Let's catch a 10. Where's your 10? Oh,
It's in the truck. Or you can grab the one in front of the washing machine, that small kit that's missing stuff. So this goes back in. There's a ridge here. It's
That's
flat.
That's clean.
Yes. Ridge here. It's flat. We want to hit it again just to be sure.
Make sure. Where you blowing it to?
Just make sure because this thing has so much sand in it. So this flat ridge goes against that notch, so it goes all the way in. And you won't be able to get your screw back in if you don't. It doesn't look like it's all the way in.
What screw can you not get back in?
This screw, the one I'm about to put in. The one that's 11.5 turns.
Oh, that way in. I was thinking that wasn't held down with the screw, but
It is held down with the screw.
Underneath that screw. Yep.
Really? That ain't it. I know how much it was.
You counted up, so I said run all the way and count your outs.
It was there. I just looked at that. That's full throttle. That's what that is.
So how do we do that in the future?
You're probably right. Run it in.
I run it in and
run it in.
count half in. That's usually they'll set them. They run them all the way and turn them out. X amount of turns. That's the choke.
This is the throttle, the automatic throttle. So when the
oh, that's right.
So when the thing gets on a load,
that turns it up.
This is the computer tells this what position to be in.
What is this big piece of sponge back here?
And this is its slot. So you got to get it in the slot without making the spring fly off. There we go. Drop the screws back in. There we go. Okay. Carburetor's rebuilt.
Hopefully. What's this?
Is that gasket in it good? Oh, that
Yes.
rubber belongs there.
That's salvage gasket. You can just sand your surface down. I'm gonna wash this down.
Hang on.
So your surface.
Let's go down low enough.
Yeah, clean that.
Let's go down low enough. So we got a little goober on there. See if we can get it off. That's part of the carb, man. That's not. I thought it was gunk.
It looked like gunk because it looked like the color of the gasket. I thought maybe someone had some shit on it that stuck.
It is not coming off. No, that's part of the carb.
And good enough. Just want to seal if you can. Make it
So
great. You want that potential air leak.
I want this area to be clean because we had a bunch of sand. If you look at the manifold here, it's got a notch. You want this notch to line up with that notch. So he goes sliding on there, like so.
Seal it pretty or you'll never tune that carburetor with it in.
It goes this way.
It'll have a natural lean to it. An uncontrollable leanness to it. How's that sound?
Vacuum leak. Pull that out of the way. Slide him on.
This angle
Make sure the wire's not in the way.
It'll lean.
It'll run lean somehow. Pull the slack out of that. This plugs back into here.
That's it cleaned out.
Oh yeah, and also your contacts on these things, you want to make sure they're cleaned out. We actually had one time that you couldn't kill the damn thing. Turned out the contacts were dirty in one of the connectors.
Which made stoppy stop button not want to stoppy stop.
Yeah, it wouldn't die. Okay, that's done.
But we pulled the gas on that one. you're that far, we want to,
Those gaskets are there, so we can
how dirty is this mess?
put the washers with the nuts on here to hold the carb on. We're going to get it running without an air cleaner first. Oh, that's nasty. It's got to be cleaned. Okay, we're going to pause. So we're planning on running this thing.
On the towel, the red black brush. Thanks, sir.
You got spray?
Yep.
So we're going to use washers here and here so we don't mar the surface. And we're going to need a chain. No way around it.
Yeah, we're going to need to put the rest of this together.
We don't need a spark plug wrench, so we should be good with a small kit.
Nudge this. Wrapping, so it's just
While you're cleaning all that off, I'll go get the kit.
Yeah, this thing's all kinds of cattywampus. Weird.
So we're going to just lightly tighten this.
This thing's a whole mess. What'd you do? Who? Me?
The door fell off.
Look at that.
Just sitting here.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
That should at least get to that point, right? What's your gasket? Your gasket's good, but I guess what's this, a symbol that just holds itself in place?
Yeah.
Boy, that's close. What'd you do there? All right, barely. Got it.
We're going to leave the choke loose so we can manually do the choke. 'Cause I don't like having to screw the knobs. And
Now what's our next step?
our next step is wait for Amazon to give us fuel line and
You have a
parts.
fuel line.
I got CDI and parts coming.
What have
Fuel
you
line.
the extra fuel line?
Huh?
So you had extra fuel line.
Not that much.
You got a piece to go from tank to there?
Good.
I was saying we're gonna bypass everything just to run straight in. Doesn't have to be in the petcock yet.
You want to try that?
If your floats work, then it's fine.
All right. Well, we got to clean the gas tank. In this case, we're just going to put some gas in it and swish it around.
What's in there right now? Chain?
Chain and dirt.
That goes up at the top of the tank.
Here goes the top of the tank, and we're not going to be rolling this one around.
Not that much.
So, if this is rusty inside, which this one is not, then you'd put a bunch of nuts and bolts and rocks or whatever you got. Shake it around with gas.
Some people use like a motorcycle chain because it's easier to get out sometimes. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Uh,
Probably wrap up around something, be my luck.
Probably. But you want to abrasive, something metal you can scrape around, and
So we're going to get good gas.
this more of a rinse.
Precious good gas. Yep. Shake this around real good. You see that other is just a vent, it goes to the top.
So it's all the top of that tank, just a bit of the tank. It's kind of smart actually because it covers the top of it. Yeah, it can still vent. But the lid's not vented, is it? Or is it?
I don't know if the lid's vented or not. It's supposed to be.
It's got to be.
We'll pull that out and let it drain. We'll pull that.
Will that run to the carb? Before you pull it, will that reach the carb?
No. It does reach to even a bad fuel filter is better than no fuel filter.
Dude, that was an aim and a hit.
It's gasoline. Hey,
It's gasoline, mate.
I'm not gonna let gasoline go to waste. I'll pour that in something,
A lawnmower you don't respect.
pretty much. Car I'm trying to revive.
Put a little premix in it. Set to go. That's holding quite a bit in this little.
Oh,
What are we going to run to the carburetor? Is there a piece that we trust long enough for that?
yeah, I've got the line with it. I use the blue line.
Or you can use a blue line.
Clean.
It's got a tank screen. Just put the tank screen back in. We're not running long. Look. That's a better chance of that running.
Oh yeah.
Just back into it, man.
Put the tank screen back in. We had the tank screen out because
Let's do
we're
that.
rinsing the tank and we wanted all the crap to come out.
Plus, you don't have to cut a hose twice. Just one piece of blue hose. It's just a temporary fire bang.
We do Make sure we use the right size wrench for this.
Temporary fire and bang.
God, hear that?
Yep.
There's sand there.
In there or not?
Yes. There's sand in the threads.
Yep.
How did that happen?
Sand's everywhere, dude. I'm telling you. You're underrating the sand, I think.
Yeah, I'm beginning to have a little bit more respect for the sand.
It got everywhere. Like a night on the beach. You gonna use this or not? When you clean this?
No, no, use it. Take it off.
Use that, use that.
You can do this?
Yes.
Hooters.
To use the filter, you'd have to cut it. The blue hose.
Oh, that's dry rotted.
I know. Get all.
Oh, maybe we can use a black hose spool.
That's it. Grab your hose.
It's fine here. I'll just throw it up under here somewhere. It don't matter that much.
Reach. Going down.
What's on?
Go down. Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah, blue line onto the carburetor. So we're hoping this thing's going to just run, right?
You're the master car builder on this one. With no choke, right?
Manual choke.
You're choking?
I missed a choke, yes. Think that's enough?
Wait, you rinsed the tank with it, guys.
This is good gas.
Did you rinse the tank?
I didn't put it back in the sink in.
Oh.
That's
I'm on your side of the world.
stupid.
I'm on your side of the world, dude. You're over there. I'm on this side. This is my side. You're on your side.
Huh?
I'll touch it.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Plus side, we know the carb's getting fuel.
Hey, are getting fuel? We didn't tighten down the bowl.
We didn't tighten down the bowl. Straighten that out.
It's doing its job. Gravity, that is.
Gotta make a mistake somewhere.
Now, if your float bowl was tightened and not leaking, we're not leaking.
Click.
And you did need to check. Where's your thing? You can turn that thing, right? And you get a little dribble of gas.
Yeah,
That's
you
how
turn that
you are
little
getting,
screwdriver one.
because you got to get the gasoline to the float bowl.
In theory.
We need a battery.
Okay. I'm gonna pause this thing. I'll just go get the battery. That's what editing's for. Plus, minus, okay.
That's on. We're not doing choke, you said, right?
I got choke.
I'm just on. I'm not down at choke. But is that throttle link is still moving up?
Choked. I'm choked.
Cheater spray? Buddy dust? Right there? Right there? Maybe not. Let's see. Maybe not.
Hang on. Oh, we're still running.
Maybe not. Let's see. Maybe not.
Just for the hell of it. Go ahead.
Done.
Choked. Get the load. Hang on. Over there. Behind you.
Up with our governor stuff or what?
Yeah, it's because stuff's not hooked up.
Let's throw something more on there for a second.
Because the choke was doing stuff.
The governor was flapping. Throw it on there, can you?
Plus, it probably needs a little engine clean, some mechanic in a bottle.
I was going to say, let's go back to get this on, that on, and see if it does like the other one, and mechanic and bottle.
Oh, we can put the airbox on, except it'll be in the way of putting the fuel line on tomorrow.
It's all right. It's just temporaries.
We don't need the airbox, but we do need the choke. That is good gas. That's the gas we use with mine.
Customer happy to know that actually
Runs.
yeah, they didn't totally destroy it.
Yeah. Try to. Oh no, it's only been sitting a year.
Yeah, they did a good job of time, but get your meter receipts at 12 volts putting out too.
I do not have my meter.
Remember my old orange one?
Yeah.
You put out 12 and out 110.
Right. I'm not worried about it at the moment. Not
There ain't
enough.
gonna leave no seep over it. But
I'm not worried about it enough to go out to the truck and get my meter. Okay, let's see. Light. Light disease. Choke out. Put the little pin in the hole.
What do you say? Turn the lever.
Oh, come on. There it goes. Make sure you got both these gaskets. This is where grab the washers that I just threw over here. Dummy.
Do you have an
Where's the washer go?
MIB mixed up?
Where'd the washer go? No, I don't. Where'd the washer go?
Where's the MIB?
It's inside, and there's not enough fuel in this to really do it.
I could put a picture.
Okay.
Show it to your camera. Show it to you.
It's inside on the counter.
See where you sit inside. Do we have something in a jug or in this generator actually?
I'm not pulling that out of a generator.
You got one of these cans?
No. We mixed it in the generator.
So far we're impressed with it.
Mechanic in a bottle. We're gonna put a little spritz of that in there.
It is fixed surges and several generators and several things.
Not flammable.
So you run it in, put diesel herb in. Yep. Shake it about. It's got to have a mix with more fuel than this has.
Yeah, want to put some more fuel in it?
You got some more? I would.
Not much. I got another can somewhere, but
And hokey pokey, then we can run it through the
Not
system and let's
nearby.
sit. Let's see if it. Did we set the last one or you just picked it?
what?
The last one we did. We set it and run it and then stop it
It just started running right.
before you even stopped it. Let it sit.
Anyway, this is about to fall, dude. This is ready to deconstruct itself.
Directions are to put it in there, run it into your system, then turn off your system, let it sit and soak for a while.
Right.
We've had quicker luck than that even with it.
But we rebuilt the carb. We were going to use mechanic in a bottle on this, but I'm glad we didn't,
Oh, the sandwiches.
because we rebuilt the carb. Okay, this goes in there with it, and that is a tool for gouging out, like whenever you can't even see the main jet. What's going on here? This whole thing came loose. Oh, damn it.
What are we not doing?
The choke assembly came apart.
That's a your side problem, I think.
Yes, it is.
That's that spring. Just kick that spring back, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Push it back.
Just kick it back in there.
That's what I did last time. I pulled it out of the thing. I kicked it back like that. And I put it back in this thing like that.
Okay, do the other end now.
I can see it. It's your side.
I think I can do it on there. I really don't want to take that apart again. Ooh, that's warm. Get on there. Get in. Here we go.
Down. How's your fuel line? Crimped, pinched, or?
Yes, absolutely. Crimped and pinched. And wrapped around the damn choke.
Hey, why won't it run? It seems fuel starved.
The hell? Here, tilt it back. As we can, so because it's gonna run gas everywhere.
Hey,
I don't mind getting new gas on my hands.
compared to what was in this thing,
Old gas, it's nasty.
I still think it was drinkable at that point. I think it fermented.
Yeah, I think it was alcoholic.
It had gone to bourbon, I think.
Smells like fuel.
But much better. It's the prettiest fuel, but what do we got?
Oh,
And we'll rub the choke now. Is it moving? Do you think it's good?
you're good.
It's a little gritty. Just so you know, a little gritty.
We'll degritify it.
Hold on a second.
Degritify and lubricate and all that fun
Hold on a
stuff.
second. Come on, records. Oh, I know how to work this thing.
See, I need to relight my cigar, but now my hand's covered in gas.
It's
I am
alright.
not putting open flame near my hand.
Why not? Are we ready?
Could also be the CDI.
Still the CDI jacked up, but that's that mechanical bottle pops are working too.
Yeah.
So let that soak for a minute. What do you think?
Yeah. All right. Get better. It takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot better. I think see the surge leveled out for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Mechanic in the bottle, I'm telling you. And the fact that that CDI, like you said, is not 100%.
Yeah.
Ain't worth tuning on the carb till you get the right CDI.
Not really any tuning on the carb.
I mean, to go any further,
Yeah.
any other thoughts of adjustment?
No, we got to get the CDI, get some fuel line, battery, other than my battery. And as much as my sister would love for me to give my battery to her, it ain't happening.
Your customer, you mean?
Yeah.
It's his sister. In this case, that's why we're doing extra nice work.
Spark arrestor maybe? Get this funnel off the ground so I don't step on it.
I mean, obviously you got MIB in the system. You can hear it.
Spark arrestor just needs to, just like everything else.
That thing is about the most corrosive point of exhaust.
If the spark arrestor's clogged, it actually says on the stickers, if you still have stickers,
Exhaust resistor, doesn't it?
yeah, it says clean spark arrestor. It doesn't run. That's one of the things it says on the stickers that are on the generator. there.
So still learning from you. Difference between
That's an 8.
difference between resistor and capacitor.
Mm-hmm. Resistor resists. The capacitor stores energy like a battery once it charges up and then discharges.
What is the what's together measuring in farads? Yeah, I'm sure he's not talking about the little pet.
Farads is that's a capacitor measurement.
So what is that? It's all ohms, right?
No.
And then a condenser versus a capacitor.
Is that the right volts?
They don't look the same age. They're probably the same dirt, but they might be. They might not be.
They're 8s. Oh, here they are.
Yeah,
Here they are.
they're
Here they are.
thread.
They're too shiny. Here you go.
Condenser, capacitor.
A condenser is a capacitor.
Well, the condenser's on ignition system like a car.
Right. It's just a special name for capacitor. Is that still too warm for you?
Yes. What is that? It's the same thing, but they're called differently.
So we're putting the spark arrestor back on.
I need that. You can hold the camera. All I need is this.
Oh, yeah, I'll just hold the camera. I can be Mr. Cameraman.
Just hand me that guy. That's all I need. Get a little bit of a thermal situation with the exhaust now.
With the thermalitis.
It might be a touch warm.
Gravity.
I didn't lose it yet. Let me try again. I got to lose it.
Actually, you need to lose it in the exhaust somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to pull down that tray. We've got to lift the whole exhaust off just to.
Or you got to flip the generator upside down to get
Something
it
like
out.
that.
Where you can't even get it with a magnet.
Something like that. It'll be wedged. Yeah, my magnet won't get it. You'll see it. It'll let you see it. You won't get it.
Click.
Click. Oh, wait, this one's digital. Hold on. This one's digital, I think. That's it. Why is one called one called the other then?
I don't know. I never understood that myself. All right, I guess we're done for the day, huh? Till such time as we get parts.
Waiting on that jungle site.
Yep.
Till then,
Well then,
she's a runner.
see you later. So the next thing we're going to do is that wheel that won't spin because the brake, that little wheel lock is locked up, so we're going to pull it off and see what we can do with it. So we took the tank back off. And we're going to flip this thing up. Our wheel lock. Let's see what's holding this thing. Looks like maybe an 8 or 10 here, an 8 or a 10 there. Pretty rusty, so we're going to put some spray on it. I happen to have some ancient liquid wrench penetrating oil. We might be able to just free that up without taking it apart. Let's just spray the whole thing penetrating oil. So you could take this out and then we could put it on a vise and screw with it. But actually, I think I'm going to get a hammer and give it a couple of love taps. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. Freed right up. Needed some lubrication. did beat on it with a hammer. And I was trying to free it up earlier with the wheel still on it. Loose pretty free. So I think I'm gonna have to get a wire brush to clean that up more. It won't. Gotta pull it. That's getting better. Okay, so if I can't get it freed up this way, you're gonna have to pull these bolts, and then once you pull those bolts, you'll have to get a wire brush, pull this rod completely out, and then clean it up. Looks like it's cleaning up pretty good here. So that's done. Since this thing is so full of sand, in fact these are full of sand, that's probably full of sand, I'm going to go ahead and pull this panel off and see what it looks like behind it. You'll notice these buttons are missing the cover. I had one cover. These are notorious for breaking and falling off, the little ring. Don't know if you can see this. The little ring breaks. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. It breaks. I'm going to see if I can't find this little cover. I cannot source the proper one that goes on it, but it has this metal ring. I can't see what I'm doing. Metal ring, and that slides over it, and then that goes on it. I might glue this one back together for one. But I think they're not half-inch, because I've got these half-inch ones that I happen to have on hand. They're too big. I could glue them on there, but they're smaller than half-inch, so maybe I can find switch covers that are the right size. They're hard to find. I cannot find them for the Predator to source them, so I'm going to have to source them as a separate switch part from an electrical supply house. Let's go ahead and pull this cover off. You got 6 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that screwdriver is not going to get these off. I got to get a better screwdriver than that. Get the old Craftsman screwdriver, see if it can turn the screw. Nope. Got that one. Nope. Nope. Penetrating oil. Might have to come back to this later after it's penetrated. Nope, I got it. This is the one I'm worried about. It's stripped. I'll have to get that with something else. I'll find my pliers. Grab it. Nope. Okay, I gotta get some vice grips. Maybe that'll get it. Well, last but least, I can get a impact wrench. I really don't want to impact on plastic. I hate to do this, but I don't know what else to do. Impact. It's not coming out. I'm not sure what to do with this thing. I can cut it off. I can do that. So I got a Dremel tool and cut a slot in it. Let's see if that'll work. Really good slotted screwdriver. That one will work probably. It'll fit the slot. So I don't know if you can see it because it's getting dark. I got my Dremel tool, put a cutting wheel on it, and cut a slot in it. Got my best slotted screwdriver, put it in there, and now it comes right out. So this screw is going to have to be replaced. There's no way we can reuse this screw, but I got it. So, not pretty. You can see I just cut a slot in it with a Dremel tool, made it into a slotted screw, came right out. It's really getting too dark to go any further. At least I can get this panel off and see what's behind it, how much dirt is in there. I've got a feeling it's a lot. Normally I wouldn't even bother pulling this panel off, but since it's got so much sand in it, I really need to have a look. Pull the knob off, pull all the screws out, out it comes, and it's full of sand. Not real bad. We could have left it, but now I can lean this down and spray all this out with some kind of electrical contact cleaner. So there's a look in the daylight. Wasn't quite as nasty as I thought it was going to be. I figured it'd be standing dirt in there. And since we got this open, here's your breaker. It's 10mm thread. That's a W66 20 amp, and then the other one that goes to the large plug is a W66 30 amp, I think. Have to look. And this is that screw that I cut a slot in to get it out. I just used a Dremel tool. Now what's over here? There's also a breaker over here, but doesn't have a cover. On a Predator, that breaker will have a cover for the 12 volts. So the 30 amp here is actually a W66 30A. And these are common. There's all different brands. This one is a Wokima, but these are all over Amazon. It's just a 10mm W66 20A breaker. That's a pretty common part number. Since we're poking around in here, I'll go ahead and show you what's what here. Your blue is your neutral, red is 120 volts, and your yellow with a green stripe is ground, so you go straight to ground. You can see this goes straight to neutral. This is the kill switch coming off of the kill switch assembly. Then these are your display controls here. Going back to the computer. And that's a bridge rectifier for 12 volts right here to make DC. So I'm assuming blue's common, you got black coming in and red going out, or actually probably the other way around. And then that's your DC 12 volts. So yeah, red is going to be your output, blue's going to be your input. Black's going to be your input. Blue is neutral or ground. And then this is your starter switch down here. Now the kill switch wires, they go down this harness to the CDI. So, and there's a joint right in here that I've seen go bad before, where all the blacks come together and they're kind of soldered or crimped. I don't remember if soldered or crimped. So you had some screws that were messed up. You need M5.8 by 10. That's your screws. We're going to paint the heads with some Rust-Oleum gloss black, so they'll at least kind of look like the screws that we pulled out. So we're going to make some replacement black screws. Got them up a little bit so I can get the paint under them. And I hate Krylon, so we're using 2X Rust-Oleum. Krylon sucks. There you go. So don't forget to clear your valve so you don't clog up your paint. There you go. Let those dry. I got some spare screws, and then we can start putting this thing back together. Okay, we've got it all cleaned up, and we'll put the panel back on. Those messed up screws, I got the new ones. Just go ahead and put the panel back on. Oh, maybe we need to do some of that.
Maybe.
Tape it, maybe? Tape it down?
Yeah, you want me to go get you some tape?
I'll use some black Gorilla Tape, I think. So we got a piece of Gorilla Tape, and new screws, painted. Stick the new screws in. Bottom holes, since these are fresh screws. I'll go ahead and put the rest of the screws in off camera. And we'll put got one of the covers on already, the switch cover. It worked out quite nicely. Another one on. This does vibrate quite a bit, so we'll tighten it just a tick, like that. And then we'll put the rest of the cover on. So we moved around to the CDI here. Get that replaced. If you remember right, we had to re-glue that standoff with E6000. Really. Doesn't matter, cutting the zip tie. Don't cut the wires. Come on. And you got two connectors on the CDI. One's here. Now this one you need to check for dirt. See how dirty that is, so it's need to be cleaned. And then the other one, two. This one. That one. I think they're different. You got a orange and white, and a green and red. And the colors on the new CDI may not match. Now remember the part number on this is top, the TJ113 2009-1. Put that in. Is it all lined up? I think that's about right. Might be too tight back here. Come on, get in there. A little trouble getting the holes to line up. That's the same part. I just when I glued it. Get that portion in. And now they line up. Magic. Okay. Orange and white goes to orange and white. That's dead. They only plug in one way, so that's a plus. See, this is green and red, and that's yellow and red. Now you can actually, I don't know, can you? Can you plug the wrong one in here? Yes, you can. That's got a green stripe, that's got a green stripe. There we go. Green stripe and red, green stripe and red. Got it. Now this one goes back over here. We actually have a trick with these zip ties. So what you do, you get the wires out of the way so you can see what we're doing. Where's that zip tie? There it is. Now you cut that, and you cut that, and you leave the little zippy tie part there. Then you pull the zip tie out. Take the new zip tie and run it through where the old zip tie was, like so. See, and then you can put the new zip tie right through there. And I used a cut zip tie, of course. Try that again with the whole zip tie. Now you could just replace it with a, you know, a zip tie that's a through hole. Got this whole thing twisted. Great. Pull it out again. Turn it around. Love doing my job so much, I love to do it twice. Oh yeah. Getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. It's nearly dark. And there you go. Good as new. Reroute that wire like that. Alright, and that is the CDI. Now we'll look at the other CDI in the light. You can see the crack very clearly now that we got it out. So next we're going to replace this spark plug. This has a cap on it, so I'm assuming it's already gapped. I'll just kind of eyeball it. Yeah, it looks good. Doesn't really need any spark plug, but it came with the CDI unit, so in it goes. far as it could. Then you just kind of tighten it up until the threads let go. Or you can tighten it up to the proper specs. Your choice. Alright, that's done. So that's everything out of the CDI box. Take the old spark plug, put the cap back on it, put it back in the goodie box. So we got the covers on. I guess the next thing would be starting on the fuel line and stuff. That'll be fun. So this new fuel line, the clamps for the old fuel line won't work with the new fuel line. See, they just fall off. So you can't use those. You got to use the clamps that come with the fuel line. But the clips, you need the clips. So pull those clips off the old fuel line, and then we'll put them on the new fuel line. Now also, I run it a little different. The old fuel line had the we're gonna blank. The fuel filter on the old fuel line was on this side. There's a problem with that because you can't get this cover off without taking the wheels off. This cover comes off without taking the wheels off. So I'm going to put the fuel filter in this area here. That way you can change it from this side and you don't have to take all of this mess apart to change the fuel filter. Now when it comes to changing the fuel line, you may or may not have to do that. The way I look at it, I've had them where the fuel lines seem fine. I put it all together and then I get fuel starvation issues. I had to take it all the way back apart. I figure if you got this thing this far apart, you might as well change all of this stuff. So here's the clamps that come with this fuel line. We'll need a couple of them. If I can get them out of the bag. There's two. Okay. These are kind of chintzy, but they're the ones that fit this fuel line. So we're going to do the one to the carburetor first. We'll need one of these clips. Probably the broken one. That's the one that was on that line. Get on there. Now this one runs in front of these wires. And then there's a hole somewhere here that it clips to. Back to the fuel petcock. We're just going to run it right to the petcock. And you probably can't see jack, so I'm going to change my camera angle. So it's going to run from the petcock to carburetor. On the petcock here. Get on there pretty as far as you can because you got plenty of fuel line, and this just goes. You can use pliers if you want. These little clamps are not that wonderful. And there's a hole right there to this clip. See nothing. There it is. Foam's in the way. There we go. That's in there. Runs in front of these wires, and then over the carb. Leave you a little bit of slack. And then we'll cut it off with the tool that I don't have outside. Be right back. So now we're going to cut this off. I just got a pair of cutters. Dike, scissors, knife, don't matter. way. We'll make sure there's plenty of room here for the air box, because the air box goes in here. If you don't leave enough slack, the air box will hit the fuel line and you'll have a hell of a time getting the air box in there. Got that. See, there's still plenty. Flip on that. Okay. Slide that on the carb. That goes about there. Twist it a little something. There we go. So that there's enough slack. Air box going here. There we go. Don't want it really rubbing on anything. That should do it right there. And I got the same thing going this way. So we want that to reach to about there. There's a space right in here. It's perfect for a fuel filter. On there. Wait, no. Put the clips on first. Here. Take the clamp back off because nothing in the right order. Your little clips. Put them on there. Now on a Predator, it only has the one, so I don't know if I'm going to use both of them or not. Let's see. If it works out, and I will. If it don't, and I'll do it like a Predator. The one clip, this is way over here. That's kind of dumb. So I think I'm going to put it over here. Just put the one. And that goes. Yeah, we'll just use the one. And then we'll have leave room for the loop. The filter there, and then that goes up to the gas tank. Now these filters flow that way. Goes clamp, flow goes that way. Come on, Shaky, get on it. Laird was going to come over, but he got tied up working on something else, so he's not coming over. There's that. That'll leave us enough slack to put the fuel filter here, something like that. And also you'll be able to lift the tank up. The tank's still got fuel in it. Should probably drain that fuel out, make my life easier. I think I will. So I'm going to go drain the fuel out of the tank and we'll go from there. So we're coming up the tank. Oh, that's what I got left. So go ahead and put this on there, put the clamp on. Clamp. Fuel tank. Make sure you get it all the way on. want the curve to be kind of in the direction you want it to go. Come on, get on there. Get the clamp on there. Fuel tank's coming in. And don't forget the vent here. That kind of goes under the carburetor the way it came off. And that ties into the vent right there. Again, you want to get it on there all the way. Get the clamp on there, preferably in a way you can get it off easy. Same with this one, turn it so I can get it off easy. Down she goes. And we'll change the camera angle. We'll crawl under here. There's the one coming from the tank. There's the one going to the filter. And make sure there's enough room for the, you're not kinking it, and that the air filter will fit. As you can put that, I put the fuel filter before where it was getting pinched when you put the air filter on. Get another clamp. Get another clamp. Another, thank you. Come on. Trying to stuff it away here. All this stuff is below the fuel tank, so it can go down and back up, it don't matter. It's the fuel pressure from the tank, it's going to push that gas. Okay. On there we go. So there we go. That. Right there like that. That'll leave me room for the air filter. Tank's ready to go in. There's a miss here. What's going on? Oh. Okay. Forgot to run it behind the choke. Getting it off. Go. Behind the choke. See, now I've got enough slack that I can lift this thing up and work on it. Whereas the stock one, they got just the amount of hose just to barely reach. There's your vent. Now, if you pulled your vent all the way off, it goes back to this box. Now it needs to go behind that too. There you go. Pull it off again. Oh God. I should have pliers for this one. There we go. So it needs to go behind the fuel line and behind the choke. And all the way on. Place the clamp. Come on, there we go. Like so. And then my watch is caught. There we go. There's that. I'm happy with it. Put the tank back on. Now these are going to be spread out. You got to get it all lined up. And the tank uses silver bolts. They're kind of long. And washers on these. One, there's three. I'll find the other one in a minute. We want the washers. kind of hard to get lined up. Next to impossible to get lined up, actually. That's a design feature I don't like. This one, that one lines up. I just gotta find one more bolt here somewhere. Here's the washer. Bolt this. That one. That's right. Is that right? I believe those are 10. That don't go right. Now we'll crank on and see what it does. Nope, that's an 8. Every bolt on this thing's either an 8 or a 10 pretty much. Felt kind of silly. There we go, that was in. Get them snugged down first. Because like I said, this thing doesn't really fit on here really well. And you can crank on. There's your tank. So the next thing to put on is the air filter. That's a mix of 8s and 10s. I think it's all 10s on this one. On a Predator, the back one's an 8 and then the rest of them are 10s. Make sure you got your thing here. Take my rig off. These are 10s. My Let's Make It Run Without the Air Filter rig. Notice I got my hand under here. That's because when you drop them, they go into the generator and disappear. Now, these two washers are not part of the generator. Air box, and it's full of sand. It's full of sand. Give this a spin. We hit it with air, but man, it's got sand all in it. White. And here, you might as well clean it, right? At least somewhat. Okay. Doesn't have to be beautiful, but I should take this in the kitchen and wash it in the sink. It's there. Holes. So, come back in with the tin. There it is. You can try to start these with your fingers, but good luck. Bolt on the back. Come on, this one. And it's an 8. Same bolt. Right. This goes in that hole. That goes in that hole. That goes across here and it snaps to that. Then we'll put this back breather on. We need a little metal plate. There it is. A little metal plate. Again, this thing's filthy. Wipe it down. It's backfiring. See all that black? This goes directly over the carb. This notch goes to the back. There's 2 little pegs it fits on. And we need the foam. Can't seem to find the foam. I will have to stop and look for it. Okay, found the foam. So here's the airbox cover. Clip goes on top. Snap thing goes on the bottom. See where it hooks. And this clip, you got to be careful. You can break it. I've seen it broken on so many of them. Now, if you do break it, just run a zip tie through here, underneath the carburetor and around the front. That'll hold it. Filter goes this way. No. Got the cut. Cut goes in the back, just like that plate. See, it has a little cut right there. That goes that way in the back. Now, you can use motor oil. I prefer K&N filter oil. You could also use motor oil. Now, they run these dry, and they come from the factory. They're dry. I prefer to oil these things. It is a foam filter, so it probably should be oiled. Cut the back at the top. That goes that way. So the cut goes to the back at the top. And that goes, snaps in there like that. Be very careful not to break it. Snap the bottom on, and it's not in all the way. There we go. There we go. Put the Engine breather on there. And that's all done. So now the engine it's pretty much back together, except for the covers. We're just about ready to run this. Need a knob. Pull the knob back up. It has an index. And if you look at this index, one of the corners is curved. I believe it was in the off position when I took it off. Yep. Phillips screwdriver, number 2. Okay. Put my test rig on the battery post because I'm still not ready to put the battery in. Come at a later date. I'm just going to put my jumper cables on here. New battery's all wrapped up. I really don't feel like messing with it right now. I'm going to go get my old battery out of my generator. Happy to happy, sad to sad. Here's your plus. Here's your minus. Put some fuel in it. Put too much because everything leaks. You don't want to leak a bunch of fuel. Probably not. That looks good so far. Put that on kind of loose so we get some air. On, let the fuel kind of gush in everywhere. It's going to need a squirt. That one? Nope. This one. Yeah. Okay, now, let me show you. This thing draws air from vents way back here by my finger. So if you're going to spray it, you either got to take the cover off or you got to spray in those vents. unbutton. Let's see if I got this plug cleaned out. Over it's full of sand. Oops, there. Oh, wife's calling. So we got our new battery here. Put it together. Pretty simple. You just take these caps off. With your little pieces of parts here, dump them out. Slide your doodad in there. Easy enough. Now I'm going to put this on charger. I've got a little battery maintainer that's perfect for this. Now if you're using a getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. If you're using a full-size automotive charger, put it on 2 amps. Don't put it on full boil. No reason to. This battery's probably fully charged, but since it came new out of the box, I'm going to go ahead and charge it before I put it on the machine. So the next thing we want to know, is it charging? So I got my voltmeter set on DC. Focus there. That's the line with the dots. Got plus on plus, minus on minus, doesn't really matter. I'm at 1319 now. With it running, I should want to see 1350 to 14. Just want to start it up. Put a load on it. Try that again. Alright, I've been running it about 5 minutes with mechanic in a bottle. About 3 ounces in the gas. Now it's running fine. 1391. We're charging. Show them we're charging. Take off the load. Still surging a little bit. So now it's going to drop to 1376 because the battery's charged. But that's what we're looking for. Now if it stayed at like 1315, 1295, then it would not be charging. I've got to run this thing for about 30 minutes with mechanic in a bottle. It's still just not quite right. So the next step is installing the battery. It's pretty straightforward. First thing I want to do is take my little jumper cables off of here. Now this thing's going back together. Together. Well, you gain some weight. Just wrapped around there, and that was just to make it easier to put the battery in and reconnect it and disconnect it, and like charge the battery and stuff. So that's my old battery for my generator. Putting in a new battery since they bought it, paid for it. Now you may want to get rid of that. Sometimes it gets in the way. Now the SAD cable is harder to connect because it's shorter. Pull screw. It's pretty damn straightforward. Minus to minus, or black to minus. plus to plus or red to plus. Unfortunately, you can't really slide these back. So you just gotta kind of manipulate them. That goes in there like so. And of course the little nut's not reaching. This could be an issue. Really? They made the screws just short enough that you can't reach the nut. Okay. Well, that's going to be fun. I gotta find me a little screwdriver. So instead of a little screwdriver, I got a little pair of pliers to hold the nut. Since they made the screw just short enough that you can't get the nut on it with it sitting at the bottom. Stick that in there. This is gonna be fun. So I need another hand. Dropped it. Great. What engineer designed this? I'd like to get my hands on his neck. Thought that it was a good idea to make this little nut, this little screw too short for the nut. Really need, how about a knife? This is fucking ridiculous. There it goes. Make sure you don't get the cover stuck under the washer. We'll go to the other side. Same problem. Hey, you know what? We can do this. There we go. Let's get that in there in the first place. Seriously. Oh yeah, there's some engineer that needs his neck run, and I dropped it. Spin around. Come on. There we go. There we go. Now it's spun around. never been an issue before. Always been able to just put these right on. Side threading again. It's always the easy things that turn out to be a pain in the ass. There we go. It's tight. Strap in there, like so. Up she goes, and in she goes. And then the cover goes right in those two little slots, like that. Tighten it on up. Let's see if everything's going to work. That really old school. So the next thing we're doing is putting the sides on. I already hosed them off. I didn't clean them up real good because it's a gen set. Doesn't matter. It's just going to get dirty again anyway. You want to make sure you got your zip tie here, zip tie here. Make sure these are all connected real good. If you broke any of these connectors, make sure you got a zip tie around them to latch it. Make sure that's in. Make sure that's screwed down. If you had this off to get to this wiring, make sure that's screwed down. Make sure it's all secured properly. Looks good. So we're going to go ahead and put this side on. Now if you'll notice, I don't have the fuel filter here where it came, where it was originally, because this is hard to get off. I put it on the other side because it's easier to access it. So this goes in there like that. Oh, wait, handles go first. Handles are next, here and here. Silly me. Goes that way. And goes the other way. Always forget. And that takes the same bolts as the tank, only no washer. On the round end here. And I believe that's an 8mm. Short bolt on this side. Short bolt here. Got a socket. Be right back. And you want to go ahead and do the short bolt first. The short bolt first. Don't over tighten that because it's going into cast metal. And you do the long bolt. Actually, you might want to put these on before you put the tank in, even, because that'll help line those up. But I kind of like this thing being free, where I can move it around and get the tank in, because it's a royal pain in the ass to get the tank lined up. It's a lot easier if you move these rails around. So we want 2 Ugga-Duggas. Actually, the top goes on next because these screws hold the top, and you can't get to those. You got the side panels on. We'll go get the top. Be right back. So here's the top. Now, if you manage to take this off, the way you put it back on is you just put these things in the holes and you pull them. You don't push them from the top because they won't go in. You got to pull them from the bottom. That's why they got these long tongues on them. Let's get the top. Around the other side. There, and I did it backwards. Handles go after the top goes on. All right. Well, I'm going to pull the handles back off and then put the top on. Gotta have mistakes. You know, that's how life works, huh? So let me pull these handles off. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Got the handles off. Because, you know, get things out of order. The top goes next. Just slides down like that. 4 screws. Eventually I'm going to put the chain back on too. There's a chain hanging out of there. And then that takes these little guys. So that takes these. My hand in the picture. There it is. These. 2, 2, 2, 2. And these will strip out real easy because you're going into plastic, so be careful about stripping them out. One reason I don't necessarily use an impact wrench on these things, it's so easy to strip things out. You really need to feel it. See, like that one's stripped already. You could use an impact on this, but you do risk stripping things out. I'd be more inclined to use a drill with the clutch on it. Okay, now the back can't go in because there's nothing to screw it to. So next is the sides. Goes like that. Holes line up. Little brake lever goes there. That goes on top of that with the tangs underneath. And that takes the little black screws. Got one in the front. Two in the top and three in the back that we can't put on until the something on this here. There's little tanks here. I missed on the front. These can be a bitch to line up sometimes. Sometimes they just go right in. Okay, they're going to be a bitch to line up. Let's try the back one. What the heck? Why isn't it going in? Tangs are off a little bit. There we go. That should go in. Yeah, now we'll go in. That goes above that, below that. Want to tighten them up until you got them all in on that side. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. That's the end. One in the front. So this has little clips on it. Got to be seated for it to go in. Tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. Now we need the 3 shoulder holes at the bottom. That's these. Alright, those are 10s. Okay, so this side's pretty much ready for wheels. We'll have to go around the other side and do the same thing. So here we are on the other side. Now these are the little clips I was talking about need to be all the way on. Otherwise we'll have a hell of a time getting the screws in. But it does the same thing. Goes below the bottom. Pull these 2 hoses loose. And then this goes above that, like so. Then you push the 2 fuel cover things in, and then you'll have to pull them tight. That seats them. Now that one's loose. You want to grab it with something? Come on. Yeah, see, now it's attached. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 3 for the back. Take these and you shove them through the holes. Look at that. These little square holes. Whatever that is. There it is. One there. And there's one here. Okay. Shoulder washers, shoulder bolts. Tight. I got this hose here. This little clip. Here. Goes in here. Get it. If you forgot it, it won't even matter. Everything's right around here. There it is. Got it. So that's attached. Everything else is not being interfered with. Now we put this cover on. Now, of course, I've got the fuel filter right here. So see how much easier to get to the fuel filter? You just pull this side off. You don't even have to pull it apart. Pull the air box out. Fuel filter's right there. Whereas on the other side, you'd have to take the wheels off, and you'd have to. Once you take the wheels off and get the side off, just get the darn fuel filter. I got 3 tanks here. They go like so. This lifts up, that goes behind it. It snaps in. It snaps in. It snaps in. What the hell? Oh, the snap is busted on this. There we go. Those are captured screws, so they won't come loose. So now we put the back on. So here's the back. Still dripping wet. Want to make sure this seal is on there good. Make sure this is on there. This is kind of floppy, but it'll be fine. Got 2 tanks here. This goes top first, underneath. Wait, do I get this backwards? Got 3 tanks at the bottom. I got it backwards. 3 tanks at the bottom, goes to the top. You kind of lift up the plastic, stick it in there. That should kind of snap in. I got 6 screws, hold that in. Alright, all we got left is to put wheels on it. This thing will be good to go. What a mess it was. Oh, and I gotta do the chain. So let's put some wheels on this thing. And first things first. The block, lubricate. You know, the wheels are all the same, so it doesn't matter. Put the wheel on. Then a washer, and then the pins. I don't have the pins. I'm going to have to use probably cotter pins because I don't have the little clips because they were just destroyed. I forgot about that. I might go buy some clips. I don't know. Alright, so I got some clips. Got these at AutoZone in the Help Center. Dorman, help. So, go back to doing the wheel. So, hubcap out. Where's it down? So the hubcap side goes out. That's the back. Little lube. Washer. Clip. Now, if your clips aren't destroyed, you won't have to get. Now what? You won't have to get new ones. These clips were totally destroyed, so we had to get new ones. Kind of want to put your hand over it in case the clip decides to zoom off into another direction. This happened to me before. It's gone. So then you get the hubcap. 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 Man, that's hard to do when it's zoomed in. And then there's three little things there. It snaps into. Just like that. We'll do that for the other two wheels, and then the front one. We'll do the front one next. So I'm going to go ahead and do the front one. The rest of this we can do off camera. Well, it turns out spray lube isn't cutting it here. It was locked up again. Which means it'll be locked up again, so I'm going to just put a little oil on it. I would put grease on it, but this thing lives out in the sand, so I'm afraid grease ain't gonna work. Put oil all over it. All right. So this one, you put the locking plate, and that goes with the three things out. Lube it. Oh, might as well just use oil. You're putting oil everywhere. And you take the wheel. That's the front. That's the front, that's the back. It lines up with this plate. Need a washer. And a clip. Actually, that should probably be a new clip on that one because that thing was in such bad shape. Get our new clips and open it up. We can find an appropriately sized clip. There we go. And then the hubcap. Locks, unlocks, locks, unlocks. Okay, we're in good shape. And we'll go and do the rest of them. All right, got the wheels on it, got all the covers on it, got the battery in it, and so now it's time for the moment of truth. Get a fault light. That's the problem with the I'm going to post wiring diagram for this thing. There's a couple of different wiring diagrams. They're all a little different. I'll post the one I think is the best as far as it's going to be a little blurry because that's just how they are. But you can go through the wiring diagram. You can see if you're getting power from your generator back to your wires over here, and then you've got the computer, which I think is pretty much on the back side of this thing. You can buy this whole panel off Amazon if you need to replace that. I've never really had to deal with faults on these. I've never seen one with a fault. So, you know, where it runs but the fault light's on, that means you got a problem with either the computer or the generator itself, the generator that the motor's turning, the inverter. So that's pretty much it. Got any questions, you can post them in the doobly-doos down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd be much obliged. And I hope this video helped you. That's about all the different things that you can have problems with this thing. That would be carburetor, fuel line, spark, CDI ignition system. This thing pretty much had it all. The fuel lines are probably all right, but you know, if you got the thing apart, might as well replace the fuel lines. It's only like 10 bucks. You're already putting money into this thing. It's about $100 in parts I've got in this thing right now. So anyhow, you guys have a great day and enjoy your YouTubing.